Hey everybody, I'm the Bat Otter, and I'm back with another review of Berserk. Like I said, I'm gonna be spreading this book out pretty long. I'm gonna go over most of the arcs because there is a lot of substance in each of the panels, and while most of my reviews are very quick, here's some of the artwork. I like this, I like that. Berserk, I want to give it more attention because I feel like there's a lot more to take from it than from something like JoJo or something like that. Because honestly, Berserk, there's something about it that I feel like gives a lot more substance than anything else. Not that the other series are not good or that they're even bad, but this one just is excellent amongst an excellent series, like best of the best. People always overuse that phrase. They're like, oh, that's the best of the best. I feel like they don't realize what they're saying when they say that. It's like, you have JoJo. What are some other series? Yeah, just JoJo, for instance. Any other series that people like, I don't know. People like Death Note, My Hero, what else do people like? I'm not an anime fan, y'all can tell. But and they're all good. But then you have something like Berserk, and it's like, here's all the best stuff right here, and then here's Berserk. It's way up here. That's how it is for me. Maybe some people disagree, but to me it's not. So this is the beginning of the Guardians of Desire arc in the series, coming off of the brand. And like I said, this one was a phenomenal arc. The Black Swordsman, the brand, I very much enjoyed those. The storytelling, everything about it. But this, I feel, goes into a part of the series that the pacing is done very well the second that it gets here, because these two, the brand and the Black Swordsman, establish a couple things in the series, and they do it in a phenomenal way. They establish the tone that it's going to be very dark, the characters, the setting, the villain, and a mystery in the brand on his neck. So it establishes a lot of stuff that Miura begins to expand on in Guardians of Desire. And while Guardians of Desire is pretty much the entirety of this book and is the longest arc in the story that leads to the Golden Age, it does its job very, very well in expanding characters, the world, the story, everything like that in excellent fashion. So getting into it, we are at a public execution. We have another priest-like figure that is being ruled by the demonic ruler, I guess. In this case, it is revealed to be the Count. They're executing her. The public is there. Everybody's very somber, depressed, and the gluttonous, large leader, the Count, the Blob, is standing over it. But the head rolls, Guts picks it up, heavily shadowed, looks at it with cold, unfeeling eyes, and challenges pretty much all the knights to a fight. And he squares off with them in the public square, sending a death threat to the Count. The Count, realizing he has the brand, we all know that something important is happening with that, and the fight is on, right? They send in all the knights, and we get big spectacular pages of Guts cutting people in half. Of course, Puck is following Guts, another good page here, seeing everything that's going on, and, we get some really good action pieces. These are really good. I'm skipping over it because, action is action at the end of the day. You can't really get much else with action. Puck gets involved. He's trying to help Guts. That's his name, right? I forgot his name last time. I called him, Tinkerbell or something. But he's helping Guts, and he gets caught. It's a very good scene. Guts ends up fighting a bigger guy, somebody he can't easily get rid of. But, come on. It's Guts. He's got a massive piece of steel on him. He's going to take the guy. And shots like this, to me, are some of the best, because all the manga, anime stuff, they all have speed lines. I think Araki does it very well, especially compared to some of the other more generic illustrators of manga. But the way that Miura is able to get these such precise lines to the point where the camera has to focus on them individually, to the point where you can see that split second going on in a page. Araki mentions in his book that each panel should be illustrated as though it's forever that moment in time, but it's always going to be moving, as though each individual panel has its own life in it and its own movement and its entire setting that will always be getting relived in that single moment. And I think that Miura captures that perfectly in shots like this, whenever the sword is making contact with the axe blade and making that small cut that we all know from the anime scenes, and then the big shatter, the big piece afterwards. Very, very good stuff. So, of course, Guts kicks his butt, but he's getting overwhelmed. So we get this hooded figure that comes to him, and we see this room full of jars and all sorts of medieval alchemy craft things that fit the setting. And he starts explaining that he was once working with the Count, and Puck is scared because there are other elves flying around. Guts is shown to be a jerk, as usual. And we get to reveal that this guy is deformed. He's ugly. And it's ever since the Count messed with him. But while we're here, Guts sees this egg, or as he puts it, a behelit. And once again, we get a very dramatic reaction out of Guts' character, signifying that's something important. And we get this real nice battle-torn Guts here. And more Guardians of Desire. So, chapter 2, getting into it. He interrogates him. He's scared of it. He's asking him where he got it. And he stole it from the castle. So, he got it from the Count. He starts explaining. Ever since something happened with the Count's life, he started dissecting people, doing all these cruel things. And I mean, look at that. Very cruel, very terrible. Like I said, this book is not for the faint of heart. Lucky me. And he was torturing him. And he... I mean, he's eating those people. It's almost so grotesque that it's funny sometimes. At least to me. But we see more and more of the demonic world that Miura is building with the characters, with Guts. And we see some more expansion on the people. We get the God Hand. We get some exposition about the world. And some foreshadowing into later parts of the series. Now, the guy that he beat wakes up, and he is obsessed with killing Guts. And the importance of stuff like this in storytelling is that, like I said, I know I'm skimming over a lot of it, but it's because once you read it, it's very good. You're enjoying the entire journey, but after reading it back, you realize, okay, he's establishing this for this, for this, for this, for this, for this. It's setting a lot of things up, but it's doing it in a very good storytelling way. So to explain it bit by bit, since I'm going backwards, I'm not all too great at that. But he says, I'm going to kill the Black Swordsman. He wants everybody to leave at once. And he gives this guy that typical demonic offer. Do you want to kill that guy? Is this what you really want? And this little caterpillar comes out of him, and he morphs the guy into a demon. So they're chilling at the place. He knows, the Count knows who took Guts, and, well, he barges in. We get another fight with a possessed knight. Guts struggles a bit more than he did last time because now the guy has all these arms. And we get a recurring theme in the series that is, by the way, look at the composition here, right? Sound effects going to kill, go down, kill again. The sword wraps around the page. All those little nuances on top of the great storytelling. We start getting this theme. Guts seems to like the violence. And simultaneously, all the monsters, they're apostles, right? That's what they're called. Are going at the humans, and they always taunt them, oh, what a wee human you are. And Guts is always kind of like, oh, let me show you what this wee human can do. And we get this great shot of Guts deflecting all of his barrage of attacks. Again, excellent movement displayed in all of these compositions, with the walls breaking down, the paneling. And we get some smaller stories, which, again, adds to the overall nature of the story, because these characters, they don't feel so much as side characters that are thrown in there as just people to be slaughtered. He gives them just enough characterization to get you to care a little bit about them. And even if you know what's going to happen to them, or even if ultimately they don't provide a lot for the overall story, it's about getting there, right? Miura captures perfectly that it's the journey, not really the destination, with a lot of these characters, and he gets you to care about smaller, more insignificant characters in very small amounts of time. In this case, it's this cripple man who's a shell of what he once was, going out of his way to stop the falling building on helpless Puck, showing that kind of strength that he's displaying despite his ailments. Now, of course, Guts battling the big monster as usual. He gets caught by a shot, but he's able to come back from it, take the guy down. Again, we get another good battle scene. And if I do recall correctly, the guy keeps coming back. Yeah, there it is. Keeps coming back for more. We get a lot of excellent fights out of it until Guts is finally able to bury him. They go on, and he allows them to get out. And Guts is like, hey, yeah, just give me the Behelit. I don't really care about you. Whatever, what happens, I'm out. And of course, Puck feels very respectful to the guy. Just 3 characters, but you get a very deep and invested story until finally you realize, oh, he's being followed. He's going to get captured. And of course he does, because he's kind of just cannon fodder, but he's cannon fodder that you care about. Puck starts mouthing off on Guts, as he does. And Guts goes back into his spiel. Anybody who's dumb enough to get carried away, caught up in all my escapades, if they die, they kind of deserve it. It's survival of the fittest, right? That's what he tells himself to sleep at night. And he's preparing for a big battle that's going to come up in the town square, because guess who they're about to execute? Guts goes there at the execution. The Count obviously is going to kill him because he knows that Guts knows him. He wants to trap Guts. And again, Guts going on that spiel to Puck, it gives Puck that little thing in his heart. He says, oh, I'm not strong enough, but I have the will to act, right? I'm weak, but I want to do something. So that's exactly what he does. As the execution is going, Puck feels that rage again. Again, very good storytelling devices in this whole thing. And it's to the point where he's about to get chopped, and Puck rushes in trying to save him using all that he can, and Guts reacts to it. Again, showing those little chinks in the armor of his personality. Again, little nuances, small little panels. Just excellent, excellent storytelling all around. But of course, nothing happens. He gets hurt, and Guts feels bad, as it seems. And as the Guardians of Desire goes on, you will see a lot more emotion in Guts being displayed, as slowly but surely the character is broken down. His personality, the thing that he displays, is being... It's a war of attrition, and he's going to lose, ultimately. So I think that's where it ends, and we get the setup with the daughter. She's looking out through the castle with very, very somberly. She doesn't like what she's seeing. Of course not. But Guts goes on his kind of redemption, almost, arc that he's going to break in, and he's going to take this guy down. He went there anyway, but now he has these spirits haunting him, and he needs to take this guy down because it's in his nature. He's that, the evil good sort of deal, right? And we get this epic shot to conclude it, where he says, I'll do it myself, I'll kill the Count with my very own flesh and blood, and that's where it ends. And so that, for anybody who hasn't read the series, that's going to be important later. You need to remember that. That'll be on the test. Because one of the big themes, like I said, is the monsters versus humans. Look at you, puny human, you can't do anything. But Guts is so resilient in taking all these things down, and there's going to be some characters that are introduced later that's important for. So, I hope you guys liked my more analytical breakdown of something. I know I was skimming the pages a lot more, but I wanted to get the main kind of storytelling and artistic points out of the way, because to me that's what this is a masterclass in this one book. So that's why I'm trying to take my time with it, break it more down. Plus it gets me more views. So it's a win-win. Win for me, win for you, win for everybody. So yeah, I hope you guys like it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. I will be finishing this book, and I won't have any Berserk anytime soon after I'm done with this. That's another reason why I'm spacing it out. These things are kind of expensive, but yeah, like I said, hope you guys like it. If you guys have any thoughts on the storytelling without giving me spoilers, because I am very invested in the series, uh, be sure to let me know. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on the storytelling. Other than that, please subscribe. Please follow me on Instagram at the Bat Otter. I post all of my artwork there. I'm no Miura, but hey, you should follow it anyway. I'll see you.